Okay. So, one really cool thing, one really cool point of progress that we've been able to make on the Ranger is getting the projectiles. The projectiles in and visible. Which, to better demonstrate, I will aggro off. Still working on some audio stuff for the bow. I'm really excited to get that in because that makes all the difference. When you can hear the draw, the knock, the pull back of the string, the holding it back like that, letting it go, the sound of it hitting the target. It's gonna be nice. I also like that in the drawback, when the bow's in the drawn back position, I like that there's like a slight shaking of the hand. Like he's kind of, holding it like at that point of tension and just kind of like shaking it while it's pulled back like that. I think that's a nice touch animation-wise. Chris Frozen, it's good to see you, man. Chris says, just got my chain-looking rogue chest plate. Nice. How are you, Joppa? I am doing fantastic. Hey, what's up, Grix? Bituminous Black with the Prime sub. Thank you so much. Sub for 2 months. Appreciate that. You haven't missed much, Bituminous. I just started. This has been a crazy week, schedule-wise, so it's been hard to find a good window. I don't typically stream this late in the day, and I don't typically stream on Friday, so it's kind of like an impromptu thing. Ushruk was kind to you, yeah? Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Is Unity open yet? Yes, it is. I like to say that when I'm opening Unity for the first time, that Unity is, it's not loading, it's slowing. Unity is slowing. That's what I like to say. Quick bug comment. Oh, Grix, not much, just thinking about how awesome it would be if the supporters could get a few hours earlier than normal. Hey, right? How are you this Friday, Joppa? I am doing well, and I'm glad that you're excited to hop in there. It is not long now. Not long now. That's one of my favorite times of the season. It's up there. It's got to be up there tied with maybe the launch of a new season is when the supporters get in. And so like everybody who can be in is in. That's just such a good feeling. Chris Rosen, quick bug comment. Are you able to cancel the target click when replacing out caltrops traps? Swapping targets when some might be mezzed is tricky. I will need to look into that. I can see where that would be tricky. That's actually the first time I've seen that feedback. So yeah, we'll need to look at that. Berserk Banky supporters should not get wiped when everyone else does, because even with the experience boost, they still can't level up to the level of the content. Yeah, we actually talked about that as recently as today. That came up just when we do have to do wipes and kind of that wipe cycle, how we want to handle the supporters in that, so that they don't get they're able to, you know, start catching up a little bit with the available content. Something we're looking at. All right, let's see here. Let me do this. There. Okay. Yeah, dinged. Not really interested in anything higher than white right now. Let's go ahead and aggro on. Let's see. Oh man, I didn't get that shot off. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, I forgot these guys were social too. Okay, guard less stone. Oh, guard less stone. Need you, buddy. I need you bad. If you could go ahead and just... If you could... Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. Well done. Somebody's got a commendation coming their way. That was some high quality guardsmanship right there. High quality guardsmanship. Guard stone is definitely French. I mean, maybe. Tell you what, we need to have a talk for sure about whatever that situation was. So we did show off tracking a little bit. One of the other points of progress we've made is, so tracking is tied to a skill, and now rangers start with the tracking skill. And when you start off as a ranger, you've got, you know, a base kind of distance that you can effectively track things in. But then as your skill goes up, the range goes up. And so the more skilled you are, then the larger range you have. And so if I want to start seeing tracking improve... Wait a second. Did you guys hear that? Did they get it in? Did they get it in? I've got to go test this. That is awesome. What track is it connected to? Is it music? Fun. Maybe it's not UI. It should be UI. Maybe it's not. It might not actually be hooked up to a slider just yet. Oh, that's so cool. That's so good. So good. Yes. Nice. All right, cool. Sorry. I hadn't realized that it had gotten in yet, so that makes me really happy. That makes me very happy. But yeah, anyway, so with tracking, then the longer I well, let's take a look at it. So now I'm tracking the fire beetle hatchling. Oh, do we have a bug? Do we have a bug? I think we might. What? Testing. Let me... Looks like we've got to get that taken care of. That's a bummer. I know that you guys have seen it because it was working this week, but there you go. That is a bummer. Let me just... Hey! Dementor with the Prime sub for 2 months. Thank you so much. And Walking Waste with the Prime sub. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Genuinely appreciate that. Thank you. Wow, the in-game music worked so well with that sound effect. Okay, so here we go. Now it's working. Interesting. Okay, anyway. Now, I'm actively tracking this target, and every time I get one of these messages, every time I get an update on the clue, then that's my chance to get a skill up in tracking. So you see I just got a tracking skill up right there. Let's see, skill ups. I like actually having skill ups both as these little floating updates and then also in my chat window. This helps me keep track of them, and I like keeping track of them. But yeah, as that tracking skill grows and goes up and up and up, then the tracking range grows as well. Let's see if I can find one of these guys. I'm gonna track you. Heading to the right. I was trying to get rid of my other target, and I hit escape and actually closed the window, so I lost my track. Let's try that again. Behind to the left. Is it you? Yes, it is. Hello there. Hello there. Aggro's on. I am... That's interesting too. Huh. Archbishop with the Prime sub. Thank you so much. Thank you. Many thanks. Man, I am getting absolutely decimated. Ooh. Okay. Well, we know one thing. For one thing, we don't have the ranged techniques in yet, like the kind of the general ranged techniques, and so I'm limited on what I can do at range to deal damage before the target gets to me, which as a ranged character you want, to kind of do as much damage to it before it actually gets to you. A little bit limited in that right now. That would help a lot, fighting something even level. Primus MMO, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. 2 months that you've been sub. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Genuinely appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. I'm just going to pop myself back up here. And so let me see something real quick. Let me do. Perfect. Oh, perfect. Yeah. If our scrolls were in, then I would have gone over and bought this already. This is going to be key. Key. So, one thing you'll also notice. Hey, test week starts tomorrow. Woot woot. Yes, it does, Primus. I cannot wait to see you back in there. I'm excited to watch some of your streams once you're playing again. I was just talking earlier about Ultima Online and how I've never played Ultima, and I had friends that did. And I've actually, since I followed you on Twitch, I've seen you play it some this week, and it has brought back so many memories of like the few little bits and pieces that I've seen of it a long time ago. Never played it, but I just remember one of my friends like constantly regaling me with these stories of like player killers and like the crazy PK players on horses that would just absolutely wreak havoc, and how they became a PK themselves, and it just so much. And I was young. I mean, I was in my like early mid-teens, I guess you could say. So when I was hearing about it, so it was like wrapped up in all that kind of youthful mystique, and I don't know. It just kind of has, even though I've never played it, it kind of has this interesting special place in my heart, if you will. So it's been cool seeing somebody play it. Like, how are you playing it actually? Like, how do you actually play it? I'm assuming it's an emulator of some kind. You never played it either. So how did you get it? How do you, like, there's a big part of me that would love to just experience it at some point. Hey, New Future Tech. Good to see you. One thing you'll also see is the momentum resource. So momentum is in and working now, much closer to as intended. So we'll talk about that in a sec. Except, whoa, it's... Something's bugged there. That's... that was a lot of momentum right there. My goodness. But what is working with momentum right now is you can see that there is a decay happening. So in combat, your momentum decays at a rate of 8 momentum every 5 seconds. So that's something to keep in mind. When combat ends, your momentum freezes and does not decay for 10 seconds. Just to help Rangers kind of transition from fight to fight a little better. And then after that 10 seconds, it starts to decay at a rate of 8 every 2 seconds. And you can expect those numbers to kind of, we're going to iterate on that and dial it in. Man, I feel like... What is going on with the numbers right now? Level 2. Why am I hitting for 20 damage? It just seems a little sus. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, the momentum's working real good. That's right. Real good. Alright, stop tracking you. I'd like to see if I can find another one of those. Oh, maybe it's an issue with, that's probably what it is. Once you've cleared, I think you have to like close this and reopen it once you've, lost a target, either by killing it or wandering out of range or whatever. I think that's what actually causes this to stop giving those update messages. Because once I close it and start it again, then I start getting these back. Archbishop with the 1 gifted. Thank you so much, Archbishop. And grats, Samwise MMO. TPS is fine. Let's move on. Yeah. Forlorn Defense. Hey, good to see you. Happy Friday to you as well. Momentum, it's both. It is a resource for certain abilities. Certain abilities will use and consume momentum. But you also get passive bonuses the more momentum you have. Every 25% full your bar gets, you get a little bit more of a passive benefit. So, and that passive benefit is to your attack speed, your auto attack damage, and your movement speed. And it's very minor. So like once I get this filled up to 25%, then it's a 2% increase to all three of those. 50% is a 5% increase, and 75% is a 10% increase. And that's as high as it gets. So even if you end up going all the way up to 100 momentum, that 10% increase is the max. All right. Yeah, that auto attack, that's doing crazy damage. Why am I doing so much damage? It almost seems like my damage goes up. I mean, I know the momentum is adding some to it, but that seems like, I mean, that's obviously way, if that's all momentum, then that's, something's definitely off there. Yeah, it's the momentum. That's giving way too much of a bonus. Yeah, it might be missing a decimal, that's right. So you're looking at like 20, 50, and 100% damage increase maybe. It's wild. I mean, it feels good. Feels cool. Just a sniping. Just doing some sniping today. Whoop. Oh, look at that. Zooming. That's amazing. Nice. Yeah, it's got a nice feel to it, right? Feels pretty good. It's hilarious. Definitely still some polish to do in, like, it transitions beautifully from ranged to melee damage. Fantastic. How it feels, but the visual of it. Now see, I'm still tracking something that I've already killed. Right? Let's go where this is taking us. Heading to the left. Heading to the right. Is it you? It's you, isn't it? Okay, I haven't been watching this carefully. Let's see what happens when we actually kill this guy. Yeah, now momentum's back up. I'm going to be an absolute... Okay. So... Okay, so he's... Yeah, he's gone from the list now, so that's working. But if I feel like this always gets reset. I don't want VSync. Thank you. I wonder if this is like if this is just bugged. Because it's like, it's not updating at all. It's interesting. Oh, bugs. Shinraz RPG says, I played the test server for the first time last weekend. The music was on point, isn't it? There are so many places in this game that I go to and the music is just like, I mean, I could just stand there and just like soak in it. Love it. Wolfgar, I'm still undecided on whether we should go to auto target when you get close. Like, part of me thinks that you should, but there's also a situation, like anytime you're taking direct control away from the player, it just feels a little bit squirrely to me. And I use squirrely because it's it's one of those immediately universally understood terms. I don't need to explain what I mean by that at all. If someone says it feels squirrely to me, everyone just knows immediately what you mean. So yeah, just a little unsure if we want to actually force the targeting. Yeah, I can definitely feel that movement speed increase. That's nice. With the, and if I've got my, oh, sweet Christmas. So that's with max movement speed buff from momentum, which is starting to decay now. and the passive Veilguard Stride. I mean, that's a nice clip. It's a nice clip, especially like sprinting the Ranger. Feels really good. Veilguard Stride's only going to be when you're outside, though. So, boom. So there's my like max current movement speed as a Ranger. Look at the rock trying to catch me. Oh, that's awesome. Wolfgar, no, I'm not doing all the music. The music's actually being done by a studio by the name of PVL Studio. It's an audio studio, and they're fantastic. They're doing music. They're doing sound effects. They're awesome. They're super good at what they do.